Greetings, everybody. Dr. Joe here. The meditation you're about to do is called The Blessing of the Energy Centers 1. Now, before I get into the meditation, I want to provide you with a bit of knowledge and information so you can get the most out of the process. So let's start from the top. You have 7 different hormonal systems in your body, and we call those individual centers the energy centers of the body. Now, each one of these energy centers has their own frequency, and because frequency carries information, they have their own intention. They have their own consciousness. They emit a certain frequency when they're activated. They have their own glands, their own hormones. They make their own specific chemicals. And in addition, they have their own individual mini brains, a plexus of neurons, a cluster of neurons that's associated with each one of these centers. Now, whenever you have a cluster of neurons together, whenever energy moves into neurological tissue, you create mind. So then when you think a certain thought and that thought produces a certain level of mind in your brain begins to produce certain chemicals that begin to activate each one of these different energy centers. So the first center is our center of reproduction. It has its own glands, its own hormones, its own chemicals. It has a plexus of neurons, and when energy moves into that plexus of neurons, we begin to produce a certain level of mind. When your first center is activated with energy, it has its own consciousness or its own mind. When energy moves into the third center, and that center is activated, there is a release of enormous amount of energy that causes us to become empowered. We become more willful. And that center has its own level of mind, and it makes its own chemicals and hormones to cause us to behave in certain ways. When your heart is opened or activated with energy and it swells and you feel full in your heart, there's energy in there. And when you feel that feeling, you tend to be more loving, more compassionate. You tend to be more giving. You trust more. That's because this center, when activated with energy, produces different chemicals, different hormones. And that release of those different substances causes you to behave differently consciously. And when you feel that love in your heart, if energy has to be expressed, it'll move up into your throat and you'll have to express love in some way. And it has its own chemicals and hormones that are released, and so on. Now, when you live by the hormones of stress, and stress is when your brain and body are knocked out of homeostasis. Stress is when your brain and body are knocked out of balance. And when you perceive a danger or a threat in your outer environment, the moment you perceive that danger with your conscious mind, your autonomic nervous system begins to release an enormous amount of chemicals to begin to cause your body to move out of homeostasis and balance. And when that chemical response is activated, you draw from that invisible field of vital energy that's surrounding your body, and you're using that vital energy to turn it into chemistry. And the field around your body begins to shrink. In other words, you become more matter and less energy, more particle and less wave. Now, the short-term effects of the stress response says that most organisms in nature can return back to balance if they can rest and repair. But if you're living in chronic stress and you keep knocking your brain and body out of balance, and you keep drawing from that invisible field of light and information around your body and turning it into chemistry, and the field around your body begins to shrink, and you're more matter and less energy, and that imbalance becomes consistent, now you're headed for disease because no organism can live in that emergency state for an extended period of time. And the arousal of the stress hormones causes the brain to begin to fire very incoherently. And when the brain is incoherent, you're incoherent. When the brain isn't working right, we're not working right. Now, those individual energy centers of your body, having their own glands, their own hormones, their own chemicals, their own individual mini brains, they're all circuit boards that are under the control of the autonomic nervous system. And so when we're living out of balance and the brain is firing incoherently and we're trying to control and predict everything in our life, and we're shifting our attention from one person to another object, to another thing, to another place, to another problem, every one of those elements that we are familiar with in our life has a neurological network in the brain. And as we shift our attention during that highly aroused state, the brain begins to fire very incoherently. And so then there is an incoherent message through the autonomic nervous system that's sent down to these different energy centers, and it causes those little mini individual brains to begin to fire incoherently. And when those individual mini brains are firing incoherently, it sends a very incoherent message to the cells and tissues and organs in the corresponding parts of the body. When those individual little energy centers are firing out of balance and the circuit boards no longer have energy, or there are incoherent messages that are causing the cells to not get clear information, they're static on the wires. Now the cells and the tissues no longer getting a proper signal. Now, in the blessing of the energy centers, I'm going to ask you to rest your attention in each one of these centers. And where you place your attention is where you place your energy. And so when you rest your attention in your first center, your perineum, when you can find it, when you can feel it, when you can stay connected to it, you are feeding that center with your own energy, your own intention. You are giving life to this center. That's your target. And if you can become aware of the space around this center, you are practicing two types of focus: convergent focus, a narrow focus. You are focusing on matter, the particle. As you sense the space around your hips, around that first center, and you can tune in to its frequency, its energy, which, by the way, already exists, you are practicing what's called a divergent focus or an open focus. You are focusing on energy, the immaterial. And since reality is both particle and wave, matter and energy, if you can rest your attention in this little mini brain and tune in to the energy of this center, and you could tune in and receive into the center, you can begin to create more coherence in that little mini brain and send a more coherent message to the cells and tissues and organs in that part of your body. And it would make sense then, when your body was receiving a more coherent signature, that it would begin to move back into homeostasis and balance. And people have healed themselves of all kinds of health conditions that are related to the first center. If I asked you to become aware of the space slightly behind your navel and below it, if you could find it, if you could feel it, if you could keep your attention on it, you would begin to drive or direct energy into your second center with your awareness. That's because where you place your attention is where you place your energy. Now that you have your target, if I asked you to tune in to the frequency of this center and you were able to sense it, notice it, stay connected to it, and feel it with this center, and tune in and receive and bless this center for the greatest good, It's possible then that you could create coherence in this little brain. And because your gut is made up of so many connections, you could create more order and balance in your second center and send a more coherent message to the cells and tissues and organs in that part of your body. If you were to rest your attention in the pit of your gut, right where your stomach is, below your sternum, and you could find it, if you could feel it, if you could stay connected to it or stay aware of it, now you have your target, you have your coordinate. And if you could tune into the energy of this center of will, the center of power, and tune in and receive its energy, you could create more coherence in your solar plexus, which would send a very coherent signature to all these cells and tissues and organs in your third center. And you could create more balance and homeostasis in this center. If you were to rest your attention in the space your heart occupies in space, and you could become aware of it, stay conscious of it, stay connected to it, and direct your attention and your energy into this center, you would be feeding this center your own energy with your intention. Now that you focus on it, if you can tune in to the frequency of this center and receive it, you could create more coherence in the mini brain of your heart, which would create more balance in all the organs and tissues and cells in that part of the body, whether it's your lungs, your heart, your immune glands, you are creating balance, equilibrium. Your fifth center, the center of your throat. If you could rest your attention in the center of your throat, stay connected to it, and as you stay connected to the energy in that center, you tune in to the frequency around the center, and if you could tune in and receive, you would draw from a new field of energy and information, reprogramming this gland, the tissues, the organ, cells to a new frequency. And that frequency carrying information would instruct matter to a new mind, and you would be blessing it for the greatest good. Your sixth center, your pineal gland, between the back of your throat and the back of your head. If you could find it, feel it, stay connected to it, you would be directing energy into this center with your attention, giving it life with your awareness. And as you practice a convergent focus and you localize your attention there, if you could keep your attention there and tune into its energy, its frequency, and you could sense it, notice it, experience it, and receive it, you would begin to instruct this center with information and create coherence in this center. Your pituitary gland in the center of your head, your seventh center, find it, feel it, stay connected to it, keep your attention on it, giving it life with your attention, and then tuning into the energy around your head at the same time and blessing this center for the greatest good. And as you tune into this frequency and you keep your attention in that center, tune in and receive and just experience it and feel it. There's nothing for you to do, because if you can change your brain waves from beta to alpha when you open your focus, you are entering the operating system of the autonomic nervous system. And the autonomic nervous system can automatically take that energy that's carrying specific instructions and begin to create more balance in that part of your body. And because the seventh center is the master gland, it can create more harmony and balance in the rest of your body. Your eighth center, 16 inches above your head, about 34 centimeters above it. If you could sense that space above your head and notice it and keep your attention on it, you are directing energy into that center. And if you can become aware in the infinite blackness that you are inside this center as a thought and tune into its energy and bless this center in a state of gratitude Gratitude is the ultimate state of receiving, and you should be able to receive energy in through the top of your head and begin to download information from the cosmos. So now, all the training that you've had up until this point, as you rest your attention in different parts of your body as a beginner and the space around your body, has been training for this meditation, convergent and divergent focus. As you sense space and you relax and you know how to close your eyes and get present, you will slow your brain waves down from beta to alpha, and for some of you into theta, and you open the door between your conscious mind and the subconscious mind, and you can reprogram your autonomic nervous system back into balance. So then, I'm going to ask you to become aware of the space around your body and space, the true self, your own energy field. And if you can understand that atoms come together and form molecules, and molecules form chemicals, and chemicals can form cells, and cells form tissues, and tissues form organs, and organs make up the systems of your body, and your body then is an accumulation of light and information. And it's the atom then that connects to a molecule, and they begin to share energy and information when they bond together. And that new field of information that they're sharing is holding matter together. And so as you go from atom to molecule to chemical, from chemical to cell, a cell has its own field of energy and information around it. And when the cell is emitting the same frequency as the cell next to it, they're on the same radio station and they can exchange information. And the inner workings of the cell, when the cell is emitting coherent light and information, is what's instructing the cell into health and balance. And information biology tells us that it's not charged molecules that are causing the cells to behave a certain way. It's the information and energy around the cell that's instructing the cell in all of its trillions of functions that are happening every second. And cell to cell, exchanging the same frequency and exchanging the same information creates balance and health. And you have 50 trillion to 70 trillion cells that make up your body. And those cells that form tissues, and tissues that form organs, and organs that form systems, and different systems have different energy and information that they're drawing from. And then the harmonics of all of those different systems produces an invisible field around your body. And when we draw from that field, that radiant, vital energy, and turning it into chemistry, we're becoming more matter and less energy, and we're feeling separate from the quantum field. We are no longer connected to energy and information. So when I ask you to tune in to that egg of energy around your body, if you were to stretch your arms out at arm's length, 360 degrees, that's your field. And all I want you to do is tune in to that energy. And I'm going to ask you to radiate, to glow, to feel, to tune in to your own frequency, your own energy. And when you feel it, tune in and receive and allow the atoms and the molecules and the chemicals and the cells and the tissues and the organs and the systems of your body to draw from a new field of energy and information and to begin to build your own field again. And when we live in separation and we're more matter and less energy, we're subject to the laws of thermodynamics. And the second law of thermodynamics is things break down in the universe that are physical. If you have a broad field of energy around your body, you can experience syntropy or order, and that means there's a reverse of entropy. And when there's a reverse of entropy, it makes sense then that the body moves back into homeostasis and balance. So we will go up energy center by energy center, resting your attention in each center, tuning in to its frequency, blessing the center for the greatest good, tuning in and receiving. You'll hear a chime. That means move to your next center. Then you'll hear another chime, move up to your next center. When we begin, There'll be a little music to center yourself, and then we will begin energy center by energy center, reprogramming each one through your autonomic nervous system back into balance. I hope you enjoy. Sit up. Eyes closed. Take a breath. And relax. Your body feel. Your body and relax it. More. And relax to nothing. Become aware. The space your perineum occupies space. Find it. Feel it. Stay connected to it. Giving it life. With your attention. In one. And as you rest, your awareness in the center Become aware. Space around this center. In space, sense it. Feel it. Notice it. Within you. And all around you. Feel it. With one. Tune in to its energy. And bless it for the greatest good. Giving more love to your life in one. And become aware. Space below your navel, inside your lower abdomen. Find it. Feel it. Stay aware of it. Into giving it energy with your attention. Feel your connection to it. Into and as you rest, your attention in the center become aware. The space around this center. And tune in to its energy. And feel it within you. And 2. And all around you. Sense it. Notice it. And bless the center. With new life. Feel 2. Become aware. Space. In the pit. Of your gut. In space. Your solar plexus. Find it. Feel it. Stay connected to it. In 3. Giving it life. With your attention. In 3. And as you rest, your awareness within this center become aware of the space around this center. Tune in to its energy. With 3, feel it within you, and all around you. Sense it. Feel it. And bless this center for the greatest good. Giving it love for your life. Become aware. The space. Your sacred heart. Occupied. In space. Find it. Feel it. Fall in love with it. Feel your connection to it. In 4, giving it life. With your attention. In 4, and as you rest your attention in the center become aware of the energy of space around this center. Feel it with your heart. Within you, and all around you. Feel it. And bless this center for the greatest good with a new energy, falling in love with life. Become aware. The space. Your throat. Occupied. Space. Feel it. Pay attention to it. Sense it. In 5, 4, that's energy. In 5, giving it life. With your attention. And as you rest, your attention within this center, become aware. The space. Around. This center. Feel it within you. And all around you. Tune in to its energy. Sense it. Notice it. With 5, bless this center with a new energy. Adding more love your life. Become aware. Space. Between the back of your throat and the back of your head. In space. Find it. Notice it. Feel your connection to it. In 6. That's energy. In 6. Giving it more life. With your awareness. 6. And as you rest your attention within this center, become aware of the energy of space around this center. In space. And tune in to its energy within you. 6. And all around. Tune in and feel six. Bless the center. The new energy. New information for the greatest good. For your life. Become aware. The space. The center of your head. In space. Find it. Feel it. Stay connected to it. It's 7. Giving it more life. With your attention. And as you rest, your awareness within this center become aware. The space. Around this center. In space. Tune in to its energy. Feel it within you. And all around you. Feel it. 7. And bless the center with new life. Feel. 7. Become aware. Space. Above your head. Sense it. Notice it. Stay aware of it. Feel your connection to it. Innate. And as an awareness, a thought, become aware that you're inside this center. In space. Sense it. Feel it. Tune in. To its energy. And feel. Feel it. Notice it. Experience it. And bless this center. For the greatest good. In gratitude. And receive. Become aware of the energy of space. Around Tune in. To your energy. Feel it. Notice. Sense it. Feel your connection to it. With your body. Within you. All around you. Feel it. Stay connected to it. Bless your field, the true self, the new energy, a new force of life, so that the atom, the molecule, chemical, the cell, the tissue, the organ, the systems of your body are drawing from a new field of light and information. Feel it. It's within you. And all around. Stay connected to it. Receive, blessing your life with the new energy. Now slowly, bring your awareness back to a new body, to a new life, to a whole new time. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes, present yourself back to the world of 3 dimensions in this space and time.